So now we've been koching in the previous shiur about what it means to have Hester Panim and what it means to break through with the Or Gadol. V'zeu tafkid shel Yom shel Yehudi b'Purim. Page Yud Gimel, Ois Gimel. This is the tafkid of Yid on Purim. And this is super important because so many times holidays come and go, we leave, we didn't accomplish what we are supposed to accomplish. So what is the tafkid of Yid on Purim? She'ikar avodah b'yom hakadosh hazeh. The main avodah that we're supposed to do on this holy day is lahashrish es midas habitachon, to ingrain in us this midah of security, she'Hashem yisbarach hu keli b'chal hamatzavim, that God is our God in all of the matzavim. Let's understand. Every yontif is like a vitamin, and we need every vitamin to keep us strong throughout the year. There's a certain problem that we have, that when we are bad, we feel like Hashem is not our God. Comes Purim, puts Klal Yisrael in a matzav where they're very, very bad, and a Hester Panim that never existed before, where not only was there Gzeira on this world, but it was already chasam, it was already signed and sealed by Hashem. It looks terrible, and there's tremendous Hester Panim, but what was the end? The end was, we won. And the message is that we should realize that even when it's dark, even when it's so dark, because we know that we're wrong. It's not like there's Gzeira, but we're tzaddikim. There's Gzeira and we're Rishayim, so to speak. We're bad. We don't deserve it. And there's Hester Panim. And we feel like Hashem left us, that we should learn from the story of Purim that there's no such thing. You should never in your year, never ever come to this conclusion that Hashem is not my God. And where do we learn this the most from? Purim. There's an avodah of Purim. The avodah of the day is to learn from the story and to ingrain in us the midah of bitachon, security that Hashem is Keli, my God, b'chol hamatzavim, in every situation. Like it says from the Ma'orei Naim, the Kamoi, she'Avram Avinu nisnasa ba'asar nisyonos. Just like Avram Avinu went through 10 challenges, kach kol Yehudi misnase ba'asar nisyonos. Every Yid goes through 10 life challenges. Nach a parsha, all of a sudden, oy, a parsha. Oy, this happens, that happens. 10 nisyonos every Yid goes through. Hari ikar ha-nisyonos shel Yehudi ein b'midas habitachon. But the main nisyon is testing our resolve that we have bitachon in Hashem, that He is our Keli, our God b'chol hamatzavim. B'zeh miyisodehu amuna. This is from the fundamental principles of Amunah, of faith. Sheyehudi mechuyev lahamin, that we have to believe. Sheyisrael heim kibonim, eitzel aviem shebashamayim, uke'avas b'no yirachemim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We have to believe this. We will not survive if we don't ingrain this into us. That just like we have emunah that there's a God, and that a God, Hashem, exists. We have emunah that Hashem is our Father. And just like every father has rachmanis on their child, unless they're cuckoo, Hashem does not have mental illness. I once told the shiur, and the kid told me, my father threw me out of the house. Your father is wrong. Hashem is not wrong. He's the ultimate father. A real father doesn't behave that way. Yisrael heim kibanim. We have to believe that we are children, and therefore we're princes. Shedvar Hashem arishim yaseres hadibros anochi Hashem alikecha asher tzisicha me'eretz Mitzrayim nechlalim by beis chalakim. Like we explained in a different place at length, he brings it out in many places in Shavuos and in other places, and we had it in the first mimer of Purim also. That anochi Hashem alikecha is two different messages. Anochi Hashem, I am Hashem, I created the world. That's who I am, and that message is the same for you as for grass and cows and stars and water and trees. Anochi Hashem, Yudke Vavke. I created the world. There's Mahava, the Bria. But there's Anochi Elikecha. Anochi Hashem Elikecha is not one statement. It's Anochi Hashem and Anochi Elikecha. Hu Elikim Shelcha, your God. He was telling that just to Klal Yisrael. She Yisrael Heim Ha'am HaNivchar. Klal Yisrael is the chosen people. La Hashem Yisbarach to Hashem. Kiben Eitzel Aviv. Like a son to his father. V'zu HaMadrega Gavoya B'Yoyser. This is the greatest level. Shehigiyu Eileh Yisrael. Shakadosh Baruch Hu Amar Lahem Anochi Hashem Elokecha. The fact that Hashem created the world is very nice. But when he said Anochi Hashem Elokecha, he created a bond, a commitment, a kesher between him and us that is indestructible. And we need to believe. Just like we believe in Anochi Hashem, we believe that Hashem created the world, we have to believe that Hashem said, Anochi Elokecha, I am your God. It's a relationship which is nitzchias. It's nitzchi, it's eternal, it's indestructible. Uvechelik zeh hayahagilei hamiyuchad shel Purim. It is in this chelik of Anochi Elokecha which there was a specific revelation on Purim. In the beginning of the problem, the beginning of the story, there was a double Hester upon him. Hastir, Astir, Pirish, Hester, Kafel, 2 times a double hidden Hester, Shua Hester, Akosha B'Yaiser. Kol Oid, Zerak Hester Yochid, Hester Shel Tzaris, Rabbis V'Rois, Achloi Nister Mehem Kiras Hashem Yisbarach L'Am Yisrael, Yesh B'Choichem Shel Yisrael Lamed B'Zeh. There's one type of Hester and then there's a double Hester. The first type of Hester is when we go through tzaris. Hashem is not shining goodness on us. We're going through tzaris. Tzaris, rabbis, v'rois. But we still feel that Hashem is close to us. So yesh b'koichem shel Yisrael lamed b'zeh. We could stand. We could withstand that. Sheyesh b'koichem shel Yehudi. Every Yid has to know. You have a power inside, Loseis b'chol ha'estarim, to carry on in all darkness. Kol oid, who margishes atzmai karav la'Hashem Yisbarach. V'ilang, as long as you feel close to Hashem. You're davening well, you're learning well, and you go through hardship. It's taka very hard, but you know, but I'm close to Hashem. It's me and you, God. I have Hashem on my side. I'm a kabel d'isur me'havel, and there's a festkeit and a starkeit. Fine. But the greatest Hester Panim, the most difficult Hester, is Kashi Yehudi Margish Etz Atzmoi B'matzav Shel Hashlocha Rachmana Litzlan. The worst Hester is when a Yid feels like he's thrown away from God. Shenidmeloi. It's not true, but it's nidmeloi. He feels like Ki'ilu HaKadosh Baruch Hu Einem Mashkiach Alav Klal Chas V'Shalom. He feels like Hashem is not dealing with me, doesn't care about me. Al zen nemar, v'anochi haster aster. That's when it says anochi haster aster. Problems, tsaros, problems we can deal with. We feel Hashem is close to me. I can daven, but sometimes the problems are so great, and I can't even get myself to daven. I feel like I can't even focus. Hashem's not interested in me. I feel thrown away. I feel like Hashem is disgusted from me. That's the worst. That's exactly what happened to Esther HaMalka. This type of double Hester. She had to withstand Hester Kafel. The first Hester was that these Goyim want to kill us. The second Hester was Keli lo mazaftani. And that's the double Hester. That's where it says in Chazal, Esther min HaTorah minayin. Where do we see a remez for Esther min HaTorah in the Torah? Shenema v'nechi haster aster. Shebeze gufa hoya hanasayin oz. That was the gufa, that was the essence of the nasayin. Shahayinira shamatzav kfar l'loy takana. It seemed like there's no way to get out of this. Shekvar nechta v'nechta metabas hamelech malka shel oilam lahashmin etzkol ha'yehudim she'en hashlocha gedoyla mizu. She felt like it's signed by Hashem. You want to tell me Achashverosh wants to kill me? That's one Hester. Hashem wants to kill me? It's double Hester. So beautiful. He's medayik in the words. K'moisha Amra. V'kasher avaditi. Whatever will happen to me will happen to me. If I'll be lost, I'll be lost. But why does it say it twice? Avaditi binyanim agashmiyim. Physically, I'm going to be lost. V'avaditi binyanim aruchniyim. And I'm also going to be lost in ruchni. Shahaya k'mushlechas lagamri. She felt like she's totally disregarded. It's one thing to be avadati in this world, to get killed, Kiddush Hashem. It's one thing to be poor. It's one thing to go through health problems, all kinds of problems. But avadati, to feel that I can't even daven to Hashem. I'm unwanted. I'm all alone in this world. Mushlechus legamri. That's how she felt. Zeh hanasayin akosha b'yoser liyehudi. This is the Nisayin Hakasha B'Yoser to a Yid when he feels from all sides. Nidmalai ki chas v'shalom nigrashti mineged einecha. We feel like we're thrown away from Hashem. The Esther Amad b'Nisayin zeh. Esther withstood even such a challenge. Kamay mechazal hanisker. When she went in Tachashverosh to the Beis Hatzlamim, the Shechina left her. Amra, Keli Keli, Lama Zavtani, Pirish, Shelimrois Kol HaAstarim, in spite of all of the difficulties and all the hester, all the blocking, Keli Ata, B'inyanim Agashmiyim, B'Keli Ata, B'inyanim Aruchniim. Kamoisha Amala Mordechai, Revach Vatzol Yaman LaYehudim Mimakam Acher. And this is the same thing we see, like we said before. Mordechai says, Revach v'atzala, Yamad leYehudim Mimakam Acher Shelachayra Tmua Ma'oid, Kala Inyan, Shemordechai Yisyatziv T'kifa Kazu, Keneged Haman, Shalicha v'yishtachaveh, Ariyodash Kihum Misakim B'ziz Kol Klal Yisrael. The whole thing is very schwer. He didn't know, he's infuriating a Meshugana, you have Haman, and he refuses to bow. You're going to infuriate him. You're putting the whole Klal Yisrael in Sakana. Ella, what's pshat? Shahoyele bitachin gamor bekesher shel am Yisrael HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He had pure bitachin, which is what paid off because that's what saved us. He had pure bitachin in the kesher, the connection of Am Yisrael to Hashem. Sheritzoyno yizbarach, that God's will. Listen carefully. Hashem's will is lebal yidach mimenu nidach, that the ones who are pushed away shouldn't be cast away. There shouldn't be anybody cast away. V'tamid b'chol ha'matzavim, and always in all matzavim, yachol Yehudi lachzer shuv el Hashem yisbarach. No matter what you have going on. I've had kids tell me that they did this avera and this thing. They think they're mamish like Hitler. Achmanu litzlan. They think they're the worst people. I don't deserve to live. I don't deserve to be frum. Hashem doesn't want to hear from me. Hashem's not going to. You should know it's not true. That feeling is also Hashem making it hard for you, or the Yetzer Hara making it hard for you. It's a hester. That's what it is. That you have to overcome. But when you overcome it, the Ur is even greater. Taki, you look at so many boys that I work with, they ate on Yom Kippur, and v'chulu, and now you look at them, that tzaddikim, because they pierced through that hester. They felt Hashem doesn't want me anymore. I ate on Yom Kippur, B'chal Shabbos. I hurt people, I stole from people, I'm gone. And they did tshuva anyway. And they found out that beyond that wall was a very loving God with his arms open, waiting for them to come back in spite of that feeling. Tamid b'chol ha'matzavim, yachol Yehudi lachzer shuv el Hashem yisbarach. If you don't feel that, that's the hester that you're living through. Tamid b'chol ha'matzavim, you should remember these words. In every situation, a Yid can come back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Period. That's our faith. There's nothing you can do that's stronger than that. There's no sin in the world that you can do that's stronger than Hashem's ability to remain nitzchias, eternally, indestructibly attached to you. Tamid b'chol ha'matzavim, yachol Yehudi lachzer shuv el Hashem yisbarach. V'im ki yadas kol ha'cheshbainis sheklal Yisrael b'shval ha'matzav moed. Mordechai knew all the cheshbainis, he knew all the calculations, that Klal Yisrael is not deserving. Klal Yisrael is on a very low level. Kedisa b'chazal, like Chazal says, shenenu mesudasai shelach Achashverosh v'yishtachavu l'tzelem. They were nene, they enjoyed the sud of Achashverosh, and they bowed to the cross. V'kvar nechta v'nechta b'tamas ha'melech she'en lahashiv. B'chol zois, it's true. In other words, it's like Mordechai is making like on his Excel sheet or a QuickBooks, income, expenses. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's very, very bad. And on the other side, here's what else I know. You know what I know? He had a very clear emunah. It didn't get muddied at all based on our actions. Clear emunah. No shaila. We're going to get saved. Ki yesh al Klal Yisrael hashkocha elyoina le'elu mikol hacheshbonos. Because Klal Yisrael has a hashkocha elyoina. I don't know how to describe that. There's hashkocha. Hashem watches us. Le'elu mikol hacheshbonos. Yes, you have cheshbonos. A lot of people, they go into business, they have a cheshbon, you see it's not going to make it, Hashem can make it. We have connections. We have cheshbonis l'mala min hateva. Le'ela mikol cheshbonis. Ve'im Yehudi rak maimen bezeh. If a Yid would only believe in this and feel this, then there's no koyach in the world that can separate you from Hashem. You have to believe that there's no koyach in the world that can separate you from Hashem. And when you believe that, then there is no koyach that can separate you from Hashem. You hear what I'm saying? Who told you? Who told you that when you do this and this sin, this amount of times, that Hashem's not interested in you anymore? It's not true. You have to believe it's not true, and then it's not true. It's only true because you think it's true. It's like a mirage. You're believing in something that's not true, and therefore it becomes a reality. Because since you think it's true, so now you have a wall. But if you knew that it's not true, then there's no wall. It's not real. Hashem is not saying this. It's a side effect of sin that you feel that Hashem doesn't want you. A side effect of sin that you feel that Hashem doesn't want you. And then you have another problem. You built that wall. Like I saw a vart, I'm pretty sure Nasiv Shalom says it by Bereshis, that Adam hid from Hashem after he ate from the Eitz Hadas. And he says over there, I hid because I realized I'm naked. And Hashem says, Mi higid lecha ke'erem anochi. Ke'erem ata. Who told you? Who told you you're naked? A person thinks I'm naked. I'm dead. I have nothing. I'm empty. Hashem says, Mi higid lecha. Who told you this? The snake. The snake told you that. The Yetzer Hara gets you to sin, and then he tells you, you're naked. You got to hide from Hashem. You're disgusting. So not only do you believe in the snake to sin, not only you allow him to get you to sin, but then you believe what he tells you. You're not. Hello. It's not true. A Yid has to know, no matter what you did, no matter where you are in this world, Hashem says, Ayeka. What's going on over here? Who told you this? That because you did this, who told you? Think about it. Why, when you go to daven now, in your next tefillah, don't you daven as good as you could daven? As good as you daven on Yom Kippur. Why don't you daven like a Gadol Adar, your next tefillah? You know why? Because subconsciously you think, I'm naked. Who am I? I don't have schusim. I have all these averis. What is this, a game? I sin against God and then I come and I start davening with full kavanah? So the Yetzer Hara not only gets you to sin, but he weakens your tefillah. He weakens what you do good. Because you think like, I'm a shvach Yid. But if you would believe that Tamid b'chol ha'matzavim, Yachol Yehudi lachzor shuv l'Hashem yisbarach, if you would believe that you did not weaken the bond that Hashem has from you, He wants you to come back home. He's looking forward for you to daven. He knows what you did and He still wants you. So then why are you davening less good? Because you're embarrassed. Who told you to be embarrassed? Do tshuva. Run back into Hashem's arms. That's all He wants. He doesn't want you to run away from Him. He doesn't want you to be distant. He doesn't want you to daven. And He wants you to say, I'm sorry, and do tshuva. He wants you. And He wants you even before tshuva. B'chol ha'matzavim. He wants you. He chose you. He said, I want you. You're my child. And when He said, Banim atem l'Hashem elokeichem, it means even b'chol ha'matzavim, no matter what. Because a prince is always a prince. It's in our DNA. He bound Himself to you. And you cannot unbind God's binding by any action that you do. Maybe you're not behaving properly. You're still son. You're still a prince. And He still wants you. So behave properly. Or do tshuva. Or even if before you do tshuva, have a relationship. Even if you can't do tshuva yet, why can't you daven to Him? So much of tefillah is asking Him for a favor. You can't even ask Him for a favor? You're going to hurt yourself? You're not going to say, Rifa'inu Hashem, please heal me if you're sick because of your sin. Ask him. He didn't say, you can't ask me if you're a bad boy. He didn't say that. He said, go ahead, have a relationship. Tamid b'chol hamatzavim. So even though Mordechai knew all the cheshbonis, he knew where messed up, shval hamatzav, on the bottom of the world, because he knew that we were in Shtach v'Letzelim, and he knew that there's a Gzeira against us, and he knew that Hashem signed it. Still, b'chol zayis, he had emunah, clear emunah, that we're going to be saved one way or another. We're going to be saved, no question about it, because Klal Yisrael has the Shkacha Elyoina above all cheshbonis. And if we would only look at these words, V'im Yehudi rak maimen bazeh, if only a Yid would believe in this, umargish zayis, and feel this, as ein koyach ba'olam sheyachal lenatkei me Hashem yisbarach, then nothing could separate you from Hashem. Yichap, you have a bond with Hashem. Don't let go. Why are you letting go? Because you let something convince you that Hashem does that, so you let go. No. If you would only realize that you don't have to let go, you'll never let go. And then nothing will separate you. Let's just say it one last time. I know you could rewind this and watch it again. But for you here, let's just do it one more time. Im Yehudi, we should make a song. Im Yehudi rak maimen bazeh. Umargir sois. Az ein koyach ba'olam sheyachal lenatkei me Hashem yisbarach. It's a lifelong lesson. Imagine if you can go through the year never feeling separated from Hashem. Imagine, you go through the year, every tefillah, you daven, me and you, God. You say every bracha, everything you do good, and the whole day, you feel connected to Hashem. Your whole life will change. But why don't you feel that way? Because of your sin. Who told you that because of your sin, you're less connected to Hashem? So if you would feel and realize and believe and feel that nothing can disconnect you from Hashem, then nothing would be able to disconnect you from Hashem. Your whole life will change. There's nothing worse than being disconnected from Hashem. And the only reason you're disconnected from Hashem is because you believe that you could be disconnected from Hashem because of what you do. Don't believe that. Believe that it's not true. Nothing will disconnect you, and then nothing will. And then your whole life changed. Because now when you walk in the street, it's you and Hashem. You feel it. And you go daven, it's you and Hashem. You go through hardships, it's you and Hashem. That's the lesson here. Even though Achashverosh himself signed and sealed it, he was mevatel the gzeira that he himself signed. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gilo bazeh, Hashem revealed, shebenegei la'am Yisrael, when it comes to Klal Yisrael, yesh oid hanhaga ilois. There's another hanhaga, le'ela u'le'ela mikol ha'cheshbonis, above and above and above all of the calculations. B'zois, kashe yesh le'yehudi amuna behira. Shanochi Hashem alikecha hu nitzchiis. When a Yid has clear faith that Anochi Hashem alikecha is nitzchiis, is eternal. V'lo yitachen, and it's not shayach she'akesher ben Yehudi la'Kadosh Baruch Hu yisnatik legamri, and it's not possible. You hear? It's not possible that my connection to Hashem will be disconnected. Ulam b'shas ma'isa and it's saying kosher ma'od. Very nice, but b'shas ma'isa, it's very hard. It's a big nisayin. Shebezeh gufa nisayin. Shenid meloi shuhu mushlach u'menutik legamri. Because that gufa is the nisayin. You think the nisayin is the sin. That's one nisayin. There's another nisayin. The other challenge is that the sin makes you feel separate. It's also nisayin. That you feel mushlach. You feel thrown away. Disconnected. Kasher hegia Esther lebeis hatzlamim. V'nistalka mimena shechina. And when that happened, and Esther came to the church, to Achashverosh, to the idols, and the shechina went away, so yikfar la'achar shekaimu lecha Lech Christus Kala Yehudim Mitzuma Alayim. V'achri kol zoi s'talka mimena shechina. V'hayu nira she'akol loy hoyel v'efes tikva. Wow. Yichap? She said, the whole Klal Yisrael Lech Christus Kala Yehudim. Everyone should come together, like we said before, the Koich of Achdus, and the whole Klal Yisrael is davening for me. She goes into Achashverosh. Hashem goes away from her. What? My plan failed? Seriously? The whole Klal Yisrael is fasting for me? They all got together, they apologized to each other, all the different factions and fractions all came together, all the sects came together. And they had Achdus Nemer Asifa, and I'm going in, and you still, Hashem goes away from me? Nistalk Mimen Hashchina? At that moment, Hayanira, it looked like it was all a waste. The Ephes Tikva, there's no hope. But Oysa Isha at that moment, Hamina B'davar Echad. She only had one thing to hold on to. She only had one thing to believe in. Shelo yitachin sheHaKadosh Baruch Hu hishlich Oysa legamri. It's not possible that Hashem is doing this. Umitoich kach nensa v'omra keli keli lo mazaftani. That's why she cried out. Why are you leaving me? Keli keli lo mazaftani. K'may shepirish b'zemar and Maldevei Shmuel lo mazaftani. V'chi yitachin k'davar hazeh sheHaKadosh Baruch Hu azavaisi. Is it shaykh that Hashem really left me alone? Without Hashem, I have no existence. If Hashem would leave me for 1 second, I would be dead. We don't have any chiyus without God. So how is it possible that He left me? Ella shenidmali ki azaftani. It seems to me ki azaftani. Hashem didn't leave her. Hashem can't leave her. She'd be dead. So when she felt that the Shekhinah left her, she felt the Shekhinah left her was an asayin. Hashem will never leave you. Hashem will never leave you. So when you feel that Hashem left you, that's an assignment. It's a challenge. That's all it is. Why does it seem like, hey, you were with me, we were walking in together, hello, where are you? Why does it seem to me, she was clear that it's not shaykh. Because she was Aymed bin Asayin, even in this moment, and she did not give up. She did not have yush, even in such a difficult time. That's what opened up the Shari Geula, the doors of Geula. So again, sometimes the sign is so bad because we're in such a messed up situation that we have to do something incredible to rectify it. Hashem tested her. Do you believe I'm with you, even though nistalku mimen Shechina? Do you believe I'm still with you, even though the Shechina left you? Because she's thinking, he's got to be with me. He's got to be. But I saw him leave. But the Shechina left. But Hashem is with me. The Keli part is with me. He's my God. He can't. He handcuffed himself to me. He's a part of me. He made a kesher with me. And she broke through the darkness by putting light in the darkness. By saying, no, he's here with me. And because she said, he's here with me, he was here with her. That was Amidah min Asayin. And through that came the Gzeira. So the darker the dark is, the only way to deal with that is by lighting a fire. Is by having light. And it's so hard, like he said before over here. He says, Go to somebody right after he does a big sin and tell him Hashem is with you. It's Nisayin Kashem Oid. It's very hard to believe that Hashem is with me. But that's an Nisayin. And in a matzav of Nisayin, you have to break through the Nisayin. How are you Oimid bin Nisayin in darkness? With light. What's the Amidah bin Nisayin? The Amidah bin Nisayin is saying, Hashem is with me. That's the Amidah bin Nisayin. Because the only way to chase out darkness is with light.